Start. Sir, what I am trying to make out is that we do need a total manpower planning in the country. Stop. I hope it will be possible for the government to take it up. Stop. But unless there is a satisfactory manpower planning, we should not start saying things like this. Stop. I mean, when we open an arts college, we are told do not open so many arts colleges. Stop. The country has got enough of arts colleges. Stop. Open only science colleges, and if science colleges are opened, we are told our science graduates are unemployed and we are asked to diversify and vocationalize, and yet people who take trade certificates or diplomas or degrees in engineering are unemployed. Stop. They tell us do not put any restriction, do not restrict it. Stop. So the real problem is that there will be unemployment unless the economy gets momentum, and when the momentum comes, those who are unemployed will find employment. Stop. But what I would like to submit is that we must adopt a forward looking policy. Stop. Suppose there is a recession and we immediately decide to cut down the facilities for technical and scientific education. The result would be that when the economy gathers momentum, we will take 5 years to produce the engineers that we need and the technical personnel that we require for the development of our country. Stopera. Sir, there has been another difficulty. Stop. Unfortunately, there was on a vast scale an import of technical know-how, and no sufficient attention was paid to the development of indigenous know-how. Stop. The present policy of the government is to go in for self-reliance in a massive way. Stop. The minister for planning has given an assurance that within 2 years all the technically educated people will be given employment, and that would include all MSCs. Stop. This is a very hopeful sign, and therefore the education minister should not be asked unnecessarily to restrict higher education. Stop. Furthermore, the Education Commission had made a recommendation that at least 6% of the people in the age group of 17 to 23 should be going to some institution of higher education or the other in the country by 1986. Stop. The present percentage in the country is 3 to 1. Stop. Therefore, there is scope for increasing the overall percentage of persons going in for higher education. So, this figure is very much less than the figure of any of the advanced countries, and one of the honorable members said that even in the advanced countries so many people are not going in for higher education. Stop. What is wrong is that we have not yet been able to implement that part of the recommendation of the Education Commission which said that the proportion of postgraduate to undergraduate must rise, and that the proportion of persons going in for technical education must be more than the proportion of persons going in for it at the present moment. Stop. Therefore, I would suggest that suitable action should be taken immediately. Stop. Para. Secondly, if you compare the percentage of students going in for higher education in science and arts, you will observe that the percentage of those who are going in for science is still not as much as has been recommended by the Education Commission, and I entirely agree with the recommendations of the Commission in this regard. So, therefore, there is a great deal of need for proper planning of higher education, and I hope that the Planning Commission will be taking up the matter in consultation with the Ministry of Education, the UGC, the state governments, and that this would depend on the tempo of economic development and change. So, sir, looking at the clock, I am a little worried, but I would, if I may, take another 10 minutes to explain what the government is attempting to do in the field of primary education, which has been emphasized so much by many honorable members, and in my opinion, quite rightly, the focus was on the removal of illiteracy and giving primary education a few direction. Stopera. Sir, the main point which we should all remember is that the present appalling figure of illiteracy has risen because we were unable to enroll all children in the age group of 6 to 11 in the primary schools, and even where we did succeed in enrolling them, they dropped off from schools unusually after 1 year. If this had not been happening continuously over a large number of years, the present figure of illiteracy would not have been as high as it is today. Stop. If we take an analysis of those who are not yet going today to the elementary schools in the age group of or 6 to 11 years, we will find that the greatest shortfall is among girls, among the scheduled castes, among the scheduled tribes, as the two honorable members quite rightly pointed out, among those who want their children to add to the family income stock. Therefore, we have to provide for 110% enrollment because that seems to be the objective, because there would always be in villages people who do not remember their ages. There would be some a little below, a few would continue after that age, and then there would be shortfalls occasionally. Stop. And if I may say so, our statistics given by village schools are not exactly as accurate as the figures given by a computer. Stop. Therefore, we must plan for 110% enrollment in the schools in the villages. Stopera. Now, this involves a new strategy. Stop. We have to take into account all the suggestions that have been made. Stop. For example, Shri Menon said that the timing of certain schools must be changed. Stop. We should also think in terms of providing part time education where it is impossible to provide whole time education. Stop. A flexible approach is needed. Stop. Then we must utilize the resources locally available in a village. Stop. For example, there are many retired persons who are interested to teach. Stop.